Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TM Geek. I am not Kevin Poss. I am not in my normal location, but I am still, in fact, Aaron Knoll, and we welcome you back to another weekend of TM Geek. This is the first of three matches we have going up for you guys tonight, coming off of the incredible match we had last weekend between David Garcia and Robert Kastner for the number one contendership spot. I won't spoil that one just in case you haven't seen it, but it was a barn burner, so be sure to check it out. And tonight, we have a set of guys going up against each other with a whole different set of stakes. And to work with me through it, I am joined by Mr. Ryan Payne. How's it going?
Doing very good, Aaron. I'll admit, this is going to be a very fun, entertaining match coming up. Obviously, I can't wait to see that number one contendership between David and Robert. I know both of them are very good IG players. And not to say anything short of these two gentlemen that's going to play today, but let's just be honest. No matter what match you're going to watch here at TM Geek, it's going to be entertaining regardless.
Absolutely. And tonight we do have two competitors going up against each other. So as Kevin has referenced to numerous times, we are getting closer and closer to that tournament season. And as we get into that tournament, that'll bring us basically to the end of the season, which will bring us to our final title match, which means unless we have some gaps open up here or there to squeeze in some other non-tournament players, as it's only 16 this time instead of a wider berth of players, the opportunity for matches is going to be less and less. If you don't make the tournament, you're not necessarily guaranteed a match for the remainder of the season. With that said, these two gentlemen are not only fighting for their first win, but they are fighting for that opportunity to play another match towards the end of the season should we have that open up. We have the Hitman Hunter Chambless and Chris Diaz coming in with an 0-3 and 0-4 record respectively. Two players who have played absolutely fine in their appearances, but just haven't been lucky enough to get that win. And as I said, especially at this point in the season, getting that win is more than likely putting you closer to potentially getting another match. The person who loses today may not play again until next season.
There's a lot of stakes in this, no doubt about that. Even if going up against, I know Hunter and Chris are going to have a lot of pressure on their shoulders, so I'm not going to try to make this any bigger than needed for either of these two. I mean, right now, like you just said, there was already mentioned number one contendership, and now this tournament coming up. So one thing's for sure, people, you're going to get a lot of geek matches without a doubt here, but who's going to get down at the end of the season? Who is going to be the champion at the end of the season? Now, obviously, since I am a player, I would love to be the champion. But if not, I would still love to see who walks away with that Team Geek belt at the end of the year.
I only have interest in being champion because it means Kevin can schedule me less. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our competitors up first. He is the favorite today with an 0-3 record, looking very zen in the background. He is the Hitman Hunter Chambless. Hunter, how's it going?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, there is a lot of pressure going into this match, but if I've learned anything, it's to be the 3 C's: calm, cool, and collected. Let's go.
Absolutely. So very, very simple for you, man. What do you feel has helped prepare you most walking into this situation?
What helps me a lot is the fact that I have a group of people in Hitman Industries in our group chat that are currently getting ready for geek matches. So we're sending questions back and forth. We're doing study sessions. While I haven't been focused a lot on geek, I have been surrounded by geek players who are sending geek questions. So that being around it is going to help me study it a little bit more.
Absolutely. The environment always helps. Ryan, any questions for our Hitman?
Well, you said yourself, man, Hunter, you got yourself a group of people, and it really looks like Hitman Industries really wants to come in here. Looks like I might be the only one in the dark here regarding who comprised of Hitman Industries. I mean, like every assassination, every assassination group out there, I don't know who comprises it, how many contract killers is underneath your employment. But one thing's for sure, if you pull the victory out here in Chris, I would be amazed to see what else Hitman Industries is capable of doing. But other than my personal observations, You expecting KOs, TKOs, or coming down to like a bloody, dragged out fight with Chris?
I've learned that, especially in an unpredictable game like trivia, you can't really call your shots. So I'm not going to say KO. I'm not going to say TKO. I'm going to say take it one question at a time. And if I get a KO, great. It's another name I can write off my list.
All right. Good. That's good to hear. He's definitely, I won't say he's humble before the match begins, but he's got that, he's in that mental state to where he's expecting the unexpected.
It's all in the mind. It's all mind games.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you sit in the back for just a second and continue with the mind work as we bring in his opponent with a record of 0 wins, 4 defeats. He is Chris Diaz. Chris, how are you feeling?
I feel okay. It'd be a fun match against Hunter. I studied a lot better than I did before. I went back. We watched both fantastic beats for the first time in a while, so that was my biggest weakness when it comes to Rizzering Grow. But yeah, I feel good. I played Hunter a couple of times before I was late, beat him in a team match against him, so I expect it to be a fun match. When I lose,
absolutely.
It'd be fun.
Ryan, any questions for Chris?
Well, I don't want to take too much time out of his hands because I know he wants to get into this, but the fact that you are one hell of a studier, I can tell from personal experience, and you really want to really make a name for yourself out here. Like Hunter, are you just taking this one question at a time, or do you feel that, like many clairvoyants that exist out there in comic book lore, you already see the end of this match and you're just, biding your time until the moment strikes?
Taking one question at a time, it's just like I've played Hunter before, so we both know our weakness and strength in each because of different leagues with Venom. But it'll be fun. I take it one question at a time. I don't be humble. I'm here to have fun and do the best I can.
Yeah, and having fun is all we can do. And so, let's get this. You want to get the fun? You want to get the party started, Aaron?
Why not? Let's go ahead and bring Hunter this as we will go over the rules of the match. So as always, each match is a 3-round affair. Throughout the entire match, you guys get 3 repeats and 1 challenge, so be sure to remember those and hang on. The match averages at about 30 points per. I'm not reading this as quick as Kevin does. He does this shit. I don't normally do it. But in round number 1, you guys can get up to 10 points plus a bonus question if you go perfect. In round 2, up to 10 points plus steals if you're lucky. In round 3, you just get 10 points. So the name of the game is to build yourself up in rounds number 1 and 2 for as good a round 3 as possible. With that said, we'll go ahead and move on to the rules for round number 1. In it, you guys will get 10 questions. They will come from 10 random categories that are geek related and were pre-selected. Should you get all 10 questions correct, you will be given a bonus question that will also be worth 1 point. We do need your answers written on your whiteboard and leave it turned long enough for us to make sure we can read it. And as I said, you do have 3 repeats and 1 challenge to use should you need it. Also, a friendly reminder to competitors, please keep your hands on screen at all times. Not that we don't love and trust you both, but it's just for safety's sake. With that said, gentlemen,
Is that hands good, position's great?
Oh, yeah, as long as I can.
Yeah.
You look perfect. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful. All right, guys, so we're feeling it. Let's go ahead and get started. And so because of the situation we are in where Mr. Caramel Mountain next to me will be playing a match very, very soon. He does not have access to the dock for the safekeeping of the game, so I will be solely reading the questions tonight. However,
safekeeping, but it's smart. It's smart too. You don't want me to get a leg up on the competition.
So I will be reading all the questions tonight, but once I finish the countdown, he will handle the competitors revealing the answers. We'll trade off. As Hunter is ready to go, hands up like we were getting ready to arrest him. I promise this won't be that bad. Maybe it will. Question number 1 comes in the category of Star Trek films. And your question is, What is the name of the Romulan mining vessel commanded by Nero in Star Trek? This, of course, being the Star Trek that released in 2009, not that there is any other.
I mean, the best way to always remember of that Star Trek is that I call it the sunglasses Star Trek because of the constant lens flares from JJ.
And 5,
I mean, seriously.
4, 3, 2, and 1. And I do agree with you. I think JJ perfected his craft there. Ryan, please get our answers.
All right, Hunter, I'll go to you first.
Vengeance?
Chris, let's go to you.
Vengeance.
We were looking for
Aaron.
Narada. Narada.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Next
so
up-
the perfect.
Next up, another Star Trek film, gentlemen, but that's for another time.
Yep.
So that perfect round question, take it, chuck it out the window. We won't need it, but 9 points still on the board for both these guys as we go to question number 2, which comes in the category of Middle Earth. What is the name of the meeting held by the Ents in Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers?
Might be a better off.
I think it was just taking a while for the system to boot itself back in, but you're all good.
They heard that, right?
Yeah.
They heard that
Okay,
question
all right,
completely.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, go, Ryan.
All right, Chris, I will go to you. What is your answer?
I might be a letter Ent meat.
Hunter, your answer.
I said the Ent Party.
It did have Ent in it, but we were looking for Ent Moot,
Moot.
not meat.
And move. You were so close, Chris.
Yeah.
You were just off by vowels. You were off by
Yeah.
vowels.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to question number 3, which is going to come in the category of DC films. DC stands for Detective Comics. Your question is, in Batman Forever, what type of event does Two-Face hijack and plan to detonate a large bomb at? If you could blow a bomb up anywhere, where would it be?
I plead the fifth because I have no idea if the NSA is watching this conversation, and someone with
5,
my hair type might get
4,
confused with somebody else.
3, 2, 1. That is absolutely smart. I promise I'm not receiving checks on the side. That was just poor planning on my part. Ryan, let's get our answers.
All right, Hunter, let's go to you, Hitman.
Is it a dance?
All right, Chris, we'll go to you.
Vibrations, the circus.
Aaron.
It was the circus. They were going to the circus.
Yep.
That's right.
All right, so it's not quite a bomb drop, but there is bloodshed as Chris does get the first point. We move on to question number 4, which comes in the category of mixed bag. And your question simply is, what year did Spawn hit theaters?
Oof. I'm gonna be honest, man. No matter what, I go back and forth on this movie, but even then, I still love the performance from John Leguizamo.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
So bad.
4, 3, 2,
Like I said, back
1.
and forth.
He does make it worth it. Let's go get our answers. And we'll
All
do
right,
Chris.
Chris, let's go to you. Sorry,
1990
I brain fart.
1996.
Hunter.
I also said 1996.
You guys did the classic movie release dates thing. It was 97.
97.
97.
Those two, yep.
The year Michael Jai White's career was born and died temporarily.
Fair.
All in the same film.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he survived. Though.
All right, question number 5 is going to move on to Marvel films. In Spider-Man 3, who is Peter's lab partner in his college class? As someone who goes to college in the time of COVID, I don't know what a lab partner is. that a thing where you interact with people?
I'll be honest, that was like rare. I had contact groups in either my
And 5, you muted yourself.
You
4,
muted yourself, buddy.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. I don't know what just happened there. All right, let's go ahead and go
Can
to
you guys hear
Hunter.
me?
You're good now.
When Stacy?
Diaz.
And safety.
There we go. Points on the board for both gentlemen. 2-1 is the score.
I think that was my microphone pretty much going, yeah, I don't want to hear your high school education, so mute me.
Fair enough. All right,
So I'm going off my laptop now.
We move on to question number 6, which comes in the category of the Chris's. This is anything that has Hemsworth, Evans, Pratt, or Pine. If you are another geek-related Chris, you can take it up with Kevin. I don't write the questions.
O'Donnell? I mean, there's a Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Like I said, if NCIS isn't paying him enough, he could take it up with Kevin. All right, guys. So the question is, which MCU film features a post-credit scene featuring Chris Evans, Captain America, talking about exhibiting patience?
One of my favorite in critically.
I mean, one thing the internet teaches you is patience, even though it's something that's not rewarded.
That will be the first repeat the question from Hunter. All right, that is, which MCU film features a post-credit scene featuring Chris Evans, Captain America, talking about exhibiting patience?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear it completely all the way. So yeah, I'm good.
Patience is dealing with internet issues while recording these movie trivia matches.
Ah, that's a pain.
And it'll be 5, 4,
As someone
3,
who course matches himself.
2, and 1. Let's get our answers, Ryan.
All right, Hunter, I will shoot to you. What's your answer?
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
And Chris, let's go to you.
One to make it on the actually to the audience, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You don't need to wait on Aaron because they are both correct.
That is absolutely correct, and it was not an FU. It was called checking your expectations. All right.
This was them trolling their audience, letting them know you don't always have to stay at the end of our films. We appreciate it, but you don't have to. Not everyone's an Amy Santiago, okay?
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to question number 7, which comes to you guys in the category of Indiana Jones films. And your question is, who plays Dr. Renee Belloc in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
That's a great character.
Good question.
That is a good character.
Such a great movie. Such a great movie, man.
I mean, seriously, that line, anything you possess, I can take anything you possess is now mine. I'm like, come on. How is that quote not recognized more?
5, 4, 3, 2, and that will be 1. Let's go ahead and get our answers, Ryan.
All right, Chris, let's go to you first, my man. What you got?
I believe I should know you're saying hot. I know it's somebody else.
All right, and Hunter?
I have nothing.
We're looking for the great Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman.
That's right.
That question did keep coming back to haunt me for other trivia league.
Paul Freeman. All right, we're going to move on to question number 8, which comes in the category of Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars in this one, not even Spaceballs. And your question is, in Star Wars A New Hope, as well as other Star Wars films later, we learn that C-3PO is fluent in over how many languages / forms of communication?
I'll be honest, when I watched The Rise of Skywalker and he did that line again, I was so out out of like not liking this movie so much, it confused me that I lost count of how many languages he speaks.
I was just confused during that movie.
I didn't
5,
even watch that
4,
movie.
3, 2, and 1. Thankfully, this answer can be found in more than just that movie, so no disadvantage, Hunter. Get our answers, Ryan.
All right. Well, speaking on Hunter, we'll go to you. What is your answer?
300?
And Chris?
I said 13.
Believe, gentlemen,
you-
he's fluent in 6 million forms of languages.
Brilliant.
Am I right, Aaron?
I was
6 million.
Yes.
6 million. You are greatly underestimating the skill that is C3PO. He literally lives to translate.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
All right, here we go. Question number 9 comes in the category of the MCU. Your question is, Alan Silvestri has composed the score for 4 MCU films. I need you to name 2 of them.
MCU, man. Even though we all know what it stands for, one thing I like with acronyms is like we always like to make our own meanings of them. Like everyone likes to say Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like to say Marvel counts unlimited money.
It's true. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Except for the money they'll be paying out to Scarlett Johansson from a lawsuit.
They better. And let's go to Chris. Your answer.
Avengers and Avengers Endgame.
And Hunter.
I said the Avengers and the Avengers Age of Ultron.
All right, Chris is in fact correct. Unfortunately, Hunter only got one of them. We were looking for Captain America, the First Avenger, the Avengers, Avengers Infinity War, or Avengers Endgame.
He did not do Age of Ultron, unfortunately.
That was a co-composition between Brian Tyler and Danny Elfman.
See, I was thinking it was Brian Tyler and Alan Silvestri. That's why.
Yeah.
And unfortunately not. So with that, the score is 2-4 as we get to our final question of round number 1. And that is going to come in the category of plot summary, which for all of our sakes, after all the bribing I've done, or all the barbing I've done on Kevin for writing paragraph worth of plot summaries, this one's short as shit. Thank you, Kevin. Your question is, a wisecracking mercenary gets experimented on and becomes immortal but ugly and sets out to track down the man who ruined his looks.
That's pretty much America, honestly.
Dr. Miami, anybody?
All right.
I'll just tune into the E channel, check out an episode of Dr. Oz or Hollywood's Plastic Surgeons, and find out who they mess up this time.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's end round 1 right.
I mean, look, I've been going back and forth all day, and I don't care about order. So, Chris, I will end it with you. What did you get?
So he got released a trailer today in the costume for the guy from Deadpool.
All right. And Hunter, your answer?
Deadpool.
All right, a double correct answer to end round number 1 on a positive note. The competitors have a score of 3-5. It is a 2-point game. And we will go ahead and move on to round number 2.
Anything can still happen.
In round number 2, a wheel will be brought up on screen. We will spin it. If you don't like what you get, with the exception of opponent's choice, we can respin it again for you. Whatever you land on by however you get there, the question will be worth 2 points. Unless you need multiple choice, then it'll become worth 1 point. Opponents, don't fall asleep or become too zen over there, because you will have the chance to steal. Should your opponent miss, it'll be worth however much it was when they missed it. Your repeats and challenges are still in effect. Hunter, you have 2 repeats. Chris, you have 3, and you both have a challenge should you hate us enough to use it. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the wheel for you guys.
Give us some time.
There we go. And your wheel options tonight include Star Wars films, quotes, Marvel films, movie release dates, Animated Geek, Star Trek, MCU, DCEU, and Spinners and Opponent's Choice. It's also worth noting that both of these gentlemen do have a strength on the board, though it's currently unknown what that strength is. With that said, Mr. Diaz, you have the lead at the moment, so it is your choice to acquiesce to the to Hunter or spin yourself.
I could be gentlemen. I do like Hunter go first.
You are, just so I'm clear, you're letting Hunter go first.
Yeah, be a gentleman.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Hunter, your wheel is primed and ready. Let's spin it.
And
DCEU. It avoids the dreaded opponent's choice. DCEU. Hunter,
You know
would you like
what?
to take it or chance fate?
I'll take it.
All right, he is going to confidently take that question.
I'm not confident, but I do not want to let an opponent's choice.
I mean, like a bounty hunter trying to make his marks in the guild, he just has to take some of the low-paying jobs, and DCEU, unfortunately, is one of the low-paying jobs. I mean,
like most of these films, so
how's he gonna make your How else are you gonna make your bones? So yeah, you gotta take the DCEU.
fair.
Otherwise, the guild, aka the wheel, would give you something else.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get with it. So, 5 questions in the category of the DCEU for Hunter. Remember, you do have 2 repeats, and multiple choice is on the table for you should you need to go for it. That said, your first question is, in Suicide Squad, how much money did Griggs owe the casino pit boss before Joker paid him off?
Oh, I love this game.
Oh man, talk about Griggs.
Multiple choice.
All right, he goes for multiple choice. Hunter, your options are A, $75,000, B, $100,000, C, $135,000, or D, $150,000.
C.
C is incorrect, so we will move over to Chris for the potential 1-point steal. Your question and options are, in Suicide Squad, how much money does Griggs owe the casino pit boss before the Joker pays him off? Your options are A, $75,000, B, $100,000, C, $135,000, or D, $150,000.
Is it D, 150,000?
That is also going to be incorrect. We were looking for B, $100,000. He wasn't quite as irresponsible as you believed him to be. We'll go ahead and move on to question number 2, which is, in Wonder Woman 1984, after a night together, Steve confesses to Diana he's been eating what type of breakfast pastry and had drank about 3 full pots of coffee that morning. So to clarify, we were looking for the breakfast pastry.
Breakfast pastry. Oh, it's one of the 2. I'm going to go with Pop-Tarts.
He takes a gamble, and he does not owe us debt. That is correct for 2 points.
Boom, right there.
Right there. Good
As the
job.
game is tied up. A max of 6 points on the board to build a lead for Hunter as we move on to question number 3, which is...
I thought it was 5 because he had 3 coming in.
That's what I'm saying. He has 3 more questions to build on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said that's his current. That's my bad. You trust me. Calculus was never my strong point. So let's keep going.
Me neither. It's fine.
All right. That's why I'm here, boys. It's okay. All right. Question number 3 is, what is the name of the Kryptonian ship Zod and his followers are imprisoned in at the start of Man of Steel and later becomes their base of operations?
Sorry.
Yeah, man.
You put out on me a little bit. Can you?
That's fine.
He didn't
I
hear
can.
that.
Please?
That's fine. I heard it myself a little bit, honestly, so I'll repeat that. That's fine. All right. The question is, what is the name of the Kryptonian ship Zod and his followers are imprisoned on at the start of Man of Steel and later pilot as their base of operations?
Multiple choice. Just be safe.
All right. Your options are A, dark 1, B, red 0, C, delta 1, or D, black 0.
Can I get a repeat the options, please?
Absolutely. You get one of those without the use of a repeat. Your options are, A, dark 1, B, red 0, C, delta 1, or D, black 0.
I'm gonna go B.
B is incorrect, so we shift over to Diaz for the chance at a 1-point steal. Your question and answer
You
is,
said B or D. What was it? That might be sure.
excuse me?
What do you say?
Chris.
B or D? What?
Oh,
He
he
said-
said B.
I'll say it at the end. Let me repeat it.
Yeah, give him a chance.
Okay. What is the name of the Kryptonian ship Zod and his followers are imprisoned on at the start of Man of Steel and later pilot as their base of operations? Is it A, Dark 1, B, Red 0, C, Delta 1, or D, Black 0? Your opponent said B.
I'm going with D. Black Zero.
D, Black 0 is correct for 1 point.
That was my second guess. Damn it.
I would be between D or A, and I was hoping you were picking one of them, so I would three A's.
All right, so we go back to Hunter. 4 more points on the board potentially, so it is far from over. Hunter, question number 4 in the category of the DCEU is, in Aquaman, Mera creates water forms of what type of animal after the little Italian girl throws a coin into the fountain?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, sea turtles, B, dolphins, C, swordfish, or D, sharks.
Dolphins.
That will be correct for 1 point to tie the game up. All right, so that means any correct answer will give Hunter the lead coming out of his round 2. We move on to question number 5 in the DCEU. In Birds of Prey, Cassandra Cain is finally able to pass the Bertinelli Diamond after Harley gives her what kind of food?
You had to be PG with that question, honestly, because
She is able to defecate.
Multiple choice.
wow.
All right. Multiple choice, your options are A, spicy chili, B, a burrito, C, a tamale, or D, a taco.
I mean, too bad
I'm
Taco
gonna
Bell
go
doesn't.
with A.
A, spicy chili is incorrect, which means we will shift over to Chris for the 1 point steal. Here it is. Your question is, in Birds of Prey, Cassandra Cain is finally able to pass what kind of the Bertinelli Diamond after Harley gives her what kind of food? Is it A, spicy chili, B, a burrito, C, a tamale, or D, a taco?
It's too bad Taco Bell doesn't exist in
I am
that
between
movie.
two answers here, and I'm going with taco.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
D, taco.
Gotcha. Taco is incorrect. We were looking for a burrito. Those Taco Bell burritos, you get it out of you, as Ryan, I'm sure, was getting to. So,
I know. I was just gonna make this nice little quip that if Taco Bell existed in the Birds of Prey movie, all it would have taken some nice product placement, and then you could have put any food in front of her from Taco Bell, and Cassandra would have easily pooped it out.
Yeah, I'm a big train taco burrito, and I thought burrito was to an easy answer because of the stuff.
all right.
That's all.
So,
The movie would have ended so much faster if she just took her to Taco Bell instead of a grocery store.
so Hunter coming out, he chose the category to play it on the safe side. He comes out with the tie. But Chris does get a 1 point steal there, so the score is 6-6 going into Chris's round 2. And with that, Chris, we will spin the wheel. So
Anything
it should It should be worth noting as the wheel spins that Hunter's defensive round 2 does mean that no matter how well Chris does, there cannot be.
Hold your breath. Oh!
And we land on the other side of opponent's choice on the MCU. Diaz, do you stick with it or are we rolling again?
I want to let the MCU do it to take away to roll again. That's the big thing.
So I heard a lot of things there. Are we spinning again?
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to spin again. So this will be the last spin of the wheel of this game. Again, as I was saying, no knockout allowed here. That we will have a round 3. And we attempted fate. It is opponent's choice. So, Hunter, I will scroll down for you to read. I will also read you out the options. We have Star Wars, Marvel Films, Animated Geek, Star Trek, movie release dates, quotes, and of course what your opponent spun away from an MCU. What would you like to give your opponent?
I'm going to give him movie release dates.
All right, movie release dates. It is, as we will go ahead and drop the wheel out.
Too bad this isn't a Star Wars match, because then movie release dates would be the best category to get.
In that case, that would be the easiest one. All right, so we'll go ahead and head down to it. All right, Chris. Here we go. In movie release dates, you have 5 questions on the board, and your first one is thus. What 2012 comic book film is a reboot of a film released originally in 1995?
Is that Greg?
That is correct for 2 points.
All right. Good start so far. He is doing very good in the shallow end, but the water is rising.
All right, here we go. How many films from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were released in the year 2018?
I'd say it'd be simpler times, but it was still around that time when a certain Muppet was president.
So you're saying the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Not the Marvel Universe, just to be sure.
You'd have to ask for a repeat the question.
Yeah. We can't clarify for you.
Repeat.
Okay. That will be your first repeat. Your question is, how many films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe were released in 2018?
Counting them all, Black Panther, Avengers, Infinity War, and the War, because that's not yet the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that would be 3.
3 films is correct for 2 points.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, because it had been that long a wait, I could not clarify without the repeat, but it does come to good.
No. Yeah. The repeat was needed. As much as we would like to treat this as a regular, like a hangout session. This is an official match, so no hints from either of us could be given.
Yeah, that one to make sure because
all right. So, question number 4 or 3. Excuse me. Jesus. I can't
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Question number 3. Star Trek V: The Final Frontier was released in what year?
Multiple choice.
All right. Your options are A, 1986, B, 1988, C, 1989, or D, 1991.
Is it 1991?
It is incorrect, so we will move over to Hunter for the chance to steal. Your question is, Star Trek V: The Final Frontier was released in what year? Your options are A, 1986, B, 1988, C, 1989, or D, 1991.
All right, I'm going to go with 1989.
And that is correct for a 1-point steal to put Hunter within 3. All right. So just as a forewarning, this one is a little bit of a thinker, so you will get about 20 seconds to answer this one. We'll be fair. But your question is, over the last decade, DC Films has almost consistently released 2+ films a year. But when was the last time they released only one theatrical movie into theaters?
Got a word here.
Yep. All right. So your options are A, 2011, B, 2012, C, 2013, or D, 2014.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've watched the Jeopardy episode, so that music pops up in my head every now and then.
All right, it'll be 5, 4, 3, 2. Say it again for me.
2013.
All right, that is incorrect. So we will move over to Hunter for a 1-point steal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And your question is, over the last decade, DC Films has released 2+ films a year. But when was the last time they released only one theatrical release into theaters in a single year? And your options are A, 2011, B, 2012, C, 2013, or D, 2014.
I'm going to go with 2012.
And that is correct for another 1-point steal.
Good job. I would be between those two.
I believe it was The Dark Knight Rises, but I'm not quite
That
sure.
is correct, yes.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Rises came out
There.
every year since. At least 2 DC films has come out, or no DC films have come out. It's either one or the other. All right, so with that, we move on to your final question, which is, the comic book films Two Guns and Red 2 both came out in what year?
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Two Guns, I had fun with it. I mean, Denzel, Mark Wahlberg together, just wrecking havoc, raising hell. That's like a combination I didn't think I'd want, but I'd enjoy anyway.
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, 2012, B, 2013, C, 2014, or D, 2015.
2013.
That is correct for 1 point.
Yep.
So,
I'm sure I bet my guts, and I was just being safe.
so he started out strong, but the opponent's choice did end up helping Hunter. He picks up 2 points and steals. The score is 11-8. So Chris does come out with the lead still as we move into round number 3. All right, guys, in this round, I will be asking for 3 numbers that fall begin 1 and 12. Each number is randomly assigned to a category. The order you give me the numbers in will designate what category you are given per question. Your questions in order will be worth 2, 3, and 5 points. We will go back and forth answering questions until we reach such a point in which no one can take the lead anymore. Your challenges and repeats are still in effect, so you guys both have 2 repeats on the board for these questions, and you do have your challenge should you need it. With that said, Mr. Diaz, you are in the lead, so I will take 3 numbers between 1 and 12.
5, 2, and 9.
5, 2, and 9. And Hunter, 3 numbers that are not 5, 2, and 9.
Man, so I was trying to go with a Rey Mysterio theme here, but he took the 9, so I'm going to go 6, 1, and 8.
I think that's still an error code somewhere in California, so.
Close enough.
All right, so 6, 1, 8, and 5, 1, 9. And Hunter, you are up first to answer your 2-pointer, which will be for number 6. And that is going to come in the category of Star Wars.
Okay.
Star Wars. All right. Your question is, what Star Wars film begins with a major battle taking place above the planet Coruscant?
The Empire Strikes Back.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
The Sith.
Oh.
Yeah.
All
I mean, one thing,
Alright.
it's called Star Wars for a reason, and 80% of them has a war in them.
yeah, fair.
All right. So, with that said, Hunter, you go ahead and move on to your 3-point question. Should you get this correct, you will tie up the game and we will bounce back to Chris. And that number 1 is going to bring you to DC films.
Okay.
DC films. All right. And your 3-point question is, in the film Constantine, after Angela witnesses her first demons, she vomits. What reason does John give that it happens to everyone the first time?
Good question.
I so want to see a sequel to this movie. Bring back Keanu as Constantine.
Same here.
He already came back as Bill. He's coming back as Neo.
Repeat the question, please.
Oh, apologies.
Absolutely. That will be the second repeat for Hunter in the category of DC films. In the film Constantine, after Angela witnesses her first demons, she vomits. What reason does John give that it happens to everyone their first time?
As I was saying, like, he's already come back as Bill. He's come back as Neo. We just need to come back as Constantine, and then we can start working. Hell, give us a new Speed movie and just erase the second one, kind of like what they're doing with the Halloween franchise.
And
Go
5.
with, because the body is in shock.
Fortunately, that is incorrect. The answer we were looking for is it's triggered by the smell of sulfur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the demons come from hell, and so the gas that traps them, which was highly flammable.
I watched the movie once, and I was kind of drunk, so.
That summed up my experience with the Rocky Horror Picture. I was drunk watching it.
All right. So with that said, it all hinges now on the 5-pointer. This 5-pointer will give you, if you get it correct, a hefty enough lead, meaning Chris will have to answer either his 5 or 2 questions to get it correct and win. But with that said, your 5-pointer for number 8, because you could not complete the Mysterio 9, comes in the category of Star Trek.
Fuck.
All right. And your question for 5 points is, in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, what is the name of the so-called planet of galactic peace in the neutral zone?
That's a good one. This film slips my
one.
mind every now and then.
I'm not going to draw this out. Congratulations, Chris. I'm going to say the Kobayashi Maru.
And your winner, by a score of 8-11, Chris Diaz with the victory. I apologize, guys. I don't quite have everything Kevin has. I don't have the fancy graphics or whatever, but he is still the winner. And your answer, the answer we were looking for is Nimbus 3. Nimbus 3. And Hunter looks about as happy with that as he could be. So I will send you to the back for just a minute, Hitman, as we leave. Oh, that's the wrong button. As we leave Chris on screen. Listen, guys, this is what happens. I wasn't here at all last week. I show up, I take over the show, I tell Kevin to take a hike, and this is what happens. Odds are he'll be back for the next.
We all need a sabbatical every now and then, man. I mean, what else can we do?
So, Chris, with this victory, you now have your first win. You are 1-4. How are you feeling after that win?
I've been nervous that I just came off work earlier. I doubted myself over 30 minutes tonight. But good match. Hunter's a really good player. I've been nervous hanging out in both. First time ever I did have to go round 3 in a while, so I'm a little bit surprised. But it was a fun game. I'm happy to play out this move, but I've been down match a lot in this late, and I was hoping to finally be the one where I can show how good I am at geek. I've been showing that late. We've been there for yes.
Absolutely. And as was said at the start, unfortunately, the win will not be enough to put you into tournament contention. So as said, unless we do end up with spaces and time to create some extra matches for other players that aren't in the tournament, this is the tentative end of your season. However, if that Hail Mary does come and we are able to get you a match, is there somebody you have in mind, or is it just take it one at a time?
I take it one at a time, anybody in general, and I just want to keep building up my wins, you said, Aaron, you started this overall, I want to do the same, just getting win after win. I've been having bad luck lately, but I have fun. I should sit back, enjoy the tournament, maybe help out if needed. But yeah, just get to have fun.
All right, Chris. Well, congratulations on getting that first win. It was hard fought and long awaited. We'll go ahead and send you to the back and bring on our second place finisher, the Hitman, Hunter Chambless. And I do have to say, while the victory did not work out, I can't say the Hitman quite missed his mark. That round 2 selection of movie release dates did end up hurting him a little bit. He had the potential to be up 10 points had he been on a strong category. He came out up only 3. And I think that is the best you can do in the situation that you are in at that point. How are you feeling?
Well, you can't win them all. What am I going to say? I just didn't know the last 3 questions round 3. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be back. I'm definitely going to play again. And it's not the last you're going to hear from Hitman Industries. I mean, I got Andrea, I got Abel, I got a lot of competitive geek players who are going to come back stronger than ever.
Absolutely. And obviously, as was said, this is most likely the last we will see of you until after the tournament and the end of the season. But as I said with Chris, in the event that Hail Mary pass does come and we can get you another match, did you have somebody in mind, or is it just you'll shoot at whoever we tell you to?
Sign my contract, give me money, give me a target, and they'll go down. But
all right,
not the last you will see of me, because I will be managing my champions to victory.
Absolutely. Well, it didn't work out for you tonight in the hot seat, but you have made sure that this is not the last we will see of you. But as a competitor, if this is the end for the season, then well done, good sir, and we will see you next time.
Well.
He was doing a thing. He was doing a thing, and I cut him off. Go ahead. There you go. You got the thing in. All right, Ryan, so what are your final wrap-up thoughts on this match?
Well, obviously, both Hunter and Chris, look, the round 2 definitely was a very fickle one for them. I mean, Chris got it looks like the questions were very lenient towards him with movie release dates. As I said before, if this was Star Wars, that would have been the most favorite slice to get. But because this was inner geekdom and the realm of movies had expanded, Chris had to take his time with every question in order to really narrow down that answer. It came close a couple of times, but it allowed Hunter to get some steals off of him. And Hunter, I understand why he took DCEU, because when Chris spun away from MCU, look what happened, opponent's choice. So he decided to make the best of what he was given. Unfortunately, like with Lady Luck, it decides to turn her back on you when you need her the most. But with Hunter, he's looking on the bright side. Sure, he's out for the season, but that does not mean his contact assassins are done. So we're pretty sure that, with With Hunter, he is far from over. He's far from done with this league.
Absolutely, guys. And with that, that is going to wrap up the first match that we have tonight. But do stick around at the 7 o'clock hour and the 9 o'clock hour. We have 2 more great matches coming up. And who knows, maybe even you'll get to see me again. But for my great co-host, Ryan Payne, for my competitors, Hunter Chambless, and the winner, Chris Diaz, and of course, on behalf of all those involved with TM Geek, which outside of us is just Kevin and his great fiance. We thank you guys for being here. I am sorry for hijacking the show. I promise you'll have it back at the 7 o'clock hour, and we will see you guys next time here on TM Geek. See ya.